Hello, TJ Bellotti here. Bellotti Home Cleaning Services. Excuse the scarf, but it's a whole 8 degrees here today, so I'm cold. I'm heading to meet with our administrative assistant. We're going to spend some time today doing videos for a training course we're putting together for new hires. So what I wanted to touch on real quick was hiring employees. It is one of the biggest hurdles that we ever encountered, was going from us primarily when I say us, I mean my brother and I, doing all of the work, to hiring employees to start doing the work along with us. We almost immediately lost a bit of that connection we had with every single client, because every single client would see us, the business owner, every time we interacted with them. But now, when we first started hiring employees, now they're interacting with employees. Now the employee becomes the face of the company. The hardest part about that is learning how to manage that new face and have them portray what we would portray if we were there. That was one of the primary challenges we met when we first started hiring employees. The second was hiring quality employees instead of just a body, because if you just hire a body, then that's all you get, is somebody that might show up and might do the job, and they won't do it very well. So part of the reason why we are starting this more organized training program is, even though we've had employees for about 10 years, it's still our biggest weak point. Now don't get me wrong, it's not, the whole staff isn't bad. I would say 10 to 15% could be replaced today. 30% are awesome, off the charts excellent. I wish I could clone all of them. And then that middle 50% is acceptable. They run the range of very good to almost bad, but not quite. So what we want to do is we want to start setting the tone in a better manner at the beginning whenever they're first hired. So for the past year, if an employee was hired, and typically our administrative assistant does all of the interviewing and all of the initial hiring. So there were some employees that I never met. My brother typically would have met them or at least talked to them, but I had never met a number of the new employees, which is really not a good thing. So after analyzing how we could maybe make the staff better, one of the things that we do now is whenever someone gets hired, my brother and I meet with them personally, try to set the tone for what kind of employee we expect, what kind of company we want to run. And now we are going to do a detailed, standardized training system where every new employee will see videos about how we clean specific things, organizational videos, so that they can see me and my brother Mike actually doing the work, to see how we want it done. That way the trainer, whenever she receives the new employee, the employee's already seen these things at least once. So we're hoping that helps set a better tone, a better starting point, so that our staff goes from 30% really, really good, 10% bad, 50% acceptable, or 40%, whatever the numbers are, 60% acceptable, to 50% really good, 10% bad, and 40% acceptable. We're just looking for that incremental increase of really good employees that we can count on. So it's something you're going to want to consider whenever you get to the point where you need to hire employees, is strategically plan it from the very beginning, which is what we did not do. What we did not do is we did not look at the big picture. We looked at the daily picture of, we need help on this day so that we can get all this work done. And we were, at the time, we were just crisis managing. We needed more hands. We hired a person, and that we thought was the solution. If we would have strategically planned that from the beginning, we might not have had as many bumps in the learning curve as we've had. So just like every other aspect of running a business that we now know and we now always preach, is make sure you're managing by objectives. Don't just crisis manage. So that's today's plan. That's this week's start. It's Monday. It's 8 o'clock. By the end of the week, it's supposed to be 50. Crazy weather. But we'll talk to you tomorrow on tomorrow's drive. Have a good day.